Hello, hi there, lovely, gorgeous Aquariuses. Welcome to my channel, and this is your love horoscope for July 2017. And you're the last one I'm doing today, hence why my brain is like, ugh. But do welcome to my channel. Most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and I do all my readings this way, and also when I do them privately with the help of my spirit guides. So this is a general overview in what my spirit guides want people to know in terms of the themes that come up for your love life, for you to be considering, thinking about, and to give you some insight for as well. I only ever do these in one take because it comes from my guide straight away, but I also live in London in my house with 2 dogs and a lot of noisy neighbours, so I do apologise now if there are any disruptions, but they're normally minimal. Also want to thank people so very much for all their support, help, guidance, comments, love. I super appreciate it. All the subscriptions, I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. I feel very blessed. And also very quickly, just to let you know that on the 3rd of July, for the second time this year, I'm launching my free 5-day Tarot and Psychic Ability Challenge, which you're most welcome to join. The information and the links are also down below for you to join that too. So guys, what's coming up for your love life? What is it that my guides want you to kind of know about when it comes to July? Right. Okay. It's been a while since I had this right off the bat. My guides are bringing up pretty much straight away that some Aquariuses are, and not all, but it's coming out quite a way. So there is some concerns or thoughts or whatever. Like I'm getting the whole triangle situation. Now this can be represented in many ways. It can be the obvious, which is you personally are in a dilemma about choosing between 2 people, or you are with somebody who's thinking about whether they want to be with you and somebody else and making that decision. Or just to complicate it some more, gosh, that you are in a situation where you are not sure almost which direction to go with just one person. So it's not about you having more than one choice. It's more like, do I stay in this or not? So there is this kind of feeling of making choice, but the choice very much, I would say, strongly hinges in and around, for a few of you, considering whether you want to be in something or not, or you're waiting for somebody else to make a decision. I'm basically just getting some outside interference coming in highly, guys, sorry, in this month's reading, which I don't want you to worry about until we've got through the reading, because there's always sometimes a rhyme or reason or a way to avoid things or to make better decisions or solutions as to why that is. So let's look at this week by week to see why that's the overarching theme that I got straight away. So straight away, I would say here, my guides are saying here, for those who are single, newly dating, be careful of the person you're newly dating, particularly in that week. You're not the only one. They are dating more than one person, and also will be inclined to continue to date you and another person. So in the first week, guys, people that you're meeting, just be wary. I would say here that probably the 3rd or 4th week. The 3rd week in most star signs reading has been very good for making connections where there isn't that, or i.e. just be cautious the entire month, if I'm being honest with you, Aquariuses, about getting with somebody, because it's coming up too strong about this third party intervention as well. Now sometimes I forgot to say that third party can also be interference by parents, our children, can also be the other interference that could hamper or get in the way of a connection going smoothly as well. So if you're in the first week, if you're an established connection, I would say here that again, that interference that I just talked about would apply, because I get quarrels and rows. So it could be literally somebody's cheated on you and you found out. It could be that just their parents are trying to interfere in the nature of your relationship, or a cousin, or if you've got grown children, that actually they're unhappy with your relationship, so they're interfering. It's causing problems and conflicts between you and the other person. So there's outside interference coming in the first week, causing battles, making you want to seek refuge or even leave just to escape the crazy right now. Also, for those of you who are waiting on somebody returning, the likelihood is that they're not returned is because they're with somebody else and they need to make a choice between you and another person. Then my guys bring this up because, and why it's relevant to you, is because it feels like they are going to choose you. But while you're in that waiting game, it doesn't feel very good, does it? It feels all confusing. So don't give yourself, if you're in that position, inner dialogue that is unhelpful for you, because you're trying to read the mind of somebody else when it's their decision to make. But it's been shown by my spirit guides that will make it, that it's not ready yet. Fun and games, Aquariuses. So in the second week, what are my guides bringing up? They're just saying here there's a lot of reminiscing, and a lot of waiting. So I would say that definitely applies for people who are waiting on somebody to return, who's perhaps with somebody else. You're reminiscing, looking and waiting, but whether you know it or not, things are moving in the right direction for you, your highest good, and also in the direction of your favour, which is really positive too. For those of you who perhaps were in an established relationship and there has been this outside interference. Now, whatever this outside interference is, even if it was the worst case scenario of it being another person romantically interfering in your connection, for some reason, I'm not getting you devastated or sad. I actually get you really adult about this. That's the thing about Aquarius, is you're a star sign whose consciousness and emotional intelligent, it can be a lot more higher than other people. And I get here that even with that, there is an adult an emotionally intelligent response to it that is not seeing you being sucked into despair or desperation over it. It's more like, okay, we need to talk about why this has happened, to understand why this has happened, and then to make choices in an adult way. And it could be that you're just containing your emotions, if I'm being honest with you, until you know the full facts about everything. But in that second week, it has been shown that you can healthfully discuss and healthfully manage the situation, and in a very strange way that kind of makes no sense to me, helps things move along in a good way. So I would say here that outside interference, probably for a very small minority, is about deceit, but it's probably mostly about friends and family and all that kind of stuff interfering. My guys has also said just be careful about Facebook, gossip, interference also in that kind of place, because that's where interference could also come in too. Because Facebook is evil and all that. It causes lots of problems sometimes. So just be aware. But you manage to help resolve this because you remain adult, and in some strange way, it actually helps your relationship get better. If you're single, then, I just get here that you are just, everything is going in the direction that you pretty much want it to go in. It's as you would want it to be, which I get overall, you'll be avoiding and you'll be seeing straight away anybody who you can't trust. Like I said at the beginning, I just feel like you probably might want to just not take anybody seriously, or take anything seriously too much if you're single in that month, because it feels like you're going to end up in a triangle situation 100%. So just avoid it if you can. I know it's a bit disappointing, but better do that than get burnt and then be upset. But even then, I think if you did get upset, you would be like, okay, well, I only saw them for a week or two. It's unfortunate, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, because there was no investment emotionally too much. The third week, oh my goodness. All right, the third week, guys. This is where, for those of you where it was deceit in established connection, that's when you're not happy. So there is a bit of a delayed reaction for those where that happened. There's also for those that were waiting for somebody to come back but had got in a connection and then they are choosing you. You still need to be careful, because it feels like the other person finds out about you, and basically in the third week it's shown a little bit like bother, trouble, emotions, not in a good place because of the interference aspect. So just hold on to your seat, guys, in the third week. But even still, it is not being shown as being as dramatic as perhaps I would imagine or you could imagine. It's more like an irritant or a necessary thing that has to happen, that somebody might yell at you and you go, oh yeah, sorry. Or yeah, it's like it's a hard thing to explain. It's like it should feel bad than what it is, but it's not. But there is some bump in the road for you to overcome. In the 4th week, pretty much everything calms down. It feels very much for me in the 4th week, you would have been chosen out of, if you were waiting for somebody to make a decision, you're the one they choose. I think there's an argument to say to those that were waiting, if they can be in a connection and then want to be with you, will they do that in the future? Possibly. But I think it depends on whether they were dating you both at the same time. I think that's where you need to worry. But if it wasn't, if it's that you were completely separate and they had to need to make a decision, then it's unlikely they will do that, because they're making a very measured one based on their true feelings and not because of their libido. Again, in established connections where there wasn't interference, it feels like as a unit, so you and the other person that you are connected to are standing firm together to say to that outside interference, no, we are together, we are a unit, we are as one, and we are making decisions, and we're united in it, so you cannot break this wall between us. So again, whether it was a connection, whether it was some infidelity, or whether this was family and friends trying to interfere in your relationship, you both together decide, no, we are firm together, we are a unit, and we're going to show the world that, even if behind closed doors we've still got some things to figure out because this is not too good. But to everybody else, you're like, nope, we are a unit, which gives me a lot of confidence that things will be fine in the end. So a bit of interference I think you've got, guys, this month, but you know, it happens. But it feels like you in particular cope very, very well because of your greater conscious awareness and your much more adult ability to be able to cope and to process this, and to obviously help everybody else or your significant person to process it as well. So I do hope that's been helpful, guys. Again, if you like this, do like, do share, do comment. Do love to hear from you all. If you'd like to know more about me and my services, again, the links are just down below. So I've been Bella, and you all have an amazing July. Take care.